let's get some analysis now. I want to bring in our experts on the Republican side, Tim Rosales, Democratic side, Ed Emerson. Guys, thanks so much for joining us. Full disclosure, we watched the debate in our conference room here at Fox 40. Since Joe Biden is the President of the United States, I want to give you first dibs here. We didn't flip a coin, but we showed some of the substance of what they talked about tonight, hitting on abortion, because the abortion and border are two topics that we've heard that are going to decide this election in a handful of states, so to speak, the deciders as they're labeled. But we have to talk about optics, because people watching this analysis right now know what they just saw. And the former president seemed to be, himself.
Who was that?
Donald Trump. He came out swinging. And Joe Biden, not so much.
Which Donald Trump are you going to get? That's the question, right? I mean, that was a good job. I got to say, he probably won this debate. I think you look at the different fact points, you look at the how Biden comported himself. I don't think he did a good job. Apparently, he's got a cold or something. So don't show up. Don't come in. Don't come in and take a beating like that, because the rest of us, Democratic Party in this country, we've got to get back up and fix this tomorrow. And that's that's my message, is that this debate did not go like we wanted. Get up tomorrow morning and do something about it. Get up and fight. Let's go. Donald Trump convicted 34 counts. He's a convicted felon. He has 2 more trials ahead of him. He's already been convicted of raping someone and having and sexually assaulting somebody. He's a piece of junk. And what do we have when he comes out and delivers a performance like this? We have the lies that Donald Trump stands on. He's a liar. Is a complete charlatan. And I'm disappointed in Joe. I wish he could have done better. I've seen him do really well. The State of the Union address was really good. But this is a tough night. This is a tough night for Democrats, and we got to pick ourselves. It's not what you do when you get knocked down, Nikki, it's what you do when you get back up.
And Tim, I know there are going to be, folks who are watching our conversation here and moderating debates. I've done it. It's no easy task, and keeping candidates on message and to the point that you're trying to ask them is difficult at times. And the former president's brilliant, as when you ask him a question, he can pivot somewhere else, and then you got to spend a couple of minutes coming back. So to folks that might say, well, wait a minute, he wasn't asking the question. Does that even matter? Because when you have the 2 men on the split screen, one looked prepared and the other one didn't.
No, I mean, the cardinal rule in politics is you don't answer the question that someone asks. You answer the question that you wish they would have asked.
Yeah, or what you want to say.
And what you want to say. And we see that in debates from time and time again. Republicans and Democrats do that. Most people, I think, in this debate tonight probably turned it off after about 10 minutes. And if you just watched that first 10 minutes, you saw a very old-looking Joe Biden fumbling around, at least, at that time. And I think he had some challenging moments, throughout the debate. I think the real question is, down ballot congressional Democrats and those running for state office and whatnot have to be asking themselves. And at some point, I think they will, and you'll have people start to be more vocal about this, is can we get someone else to run for president? Mm-hmm. Because even if you look at this, and taking off my partisan Republican hat, you have a candidate here representing the Democratic Party that clearly is suffering from some issues that are going to make the next several months very challenging and put the Democratic Party as a whole and their candidates down ticket in trouble in November. And and I think that's a real serious issue. And at some point, somebody's going to go public about it. It's when are they going to have the courage to go public about it on the Democratic side? Well,
and Ed, I want to ask you too this, because I mean, I know we watch enough cable news to know that there are conversations happening on other networks right now, because there's this emotional response, and it's, we're done with Biden. The party has to switch him out, someone else. Newsom's in the audience right now, all excited and put me in, coach. I mean, those conversations are happening right now. Sure. But how realistic is that? I mean, just to give a little bit of your background. I mean, you're no stranger to this stuff. You work for presidents, vice presidents. You've been in the room. Both of you guys have been preparing candidates for debates. You know how it is. how do you ride this narrative out? Do you just sort of say, okay, we got to take the loss and come back for the next one?
I like your thinking right there, Nikki. Okay. I'm telling you, because you're going to get beat. You're going to get beat on a good day. Incumbent presidents always have a lousy first debate. Biden just proved that. That was a lousy debate. I'm going to take the varnish off and just say, I'm so angry right now because we have so much to say. Donald Trump is a felon. He's a felon sitting in the. You want to change out a candidate? How about you change out Donald Trump? For the love of God, the man assaulted a woman. He's got all these different things.
But it seems, and Tim, correct me if I'm wrong here, it seems like in the Democratic Party, there's going to be more talk about switching out Biden because in the Republican Party, it's more of a team sport than the Democratic Party. Is that assessment unfair there? Because
well, I've always thought the Democrats are better team players than the Republicans, and they probably think the same about Republicans.
Well, right now, now, no, I agree.
Yeah, but I definitely think that could be the case. The question that Biden and the Biden team has right now is there going to be a second debate, right? I mean, yes, traditionally incumbents do perform worse in that first debate. But do you take a chance of a second debate, right? Especially if it's like this.
Well, and also the timing, too. That plays in, I mean, we're sitting at the end of June here. The election is an eternity away.
Yeah.
So right now, while this may seem like the absolute worst day for the Biden campaign in the Democratic Party, voters are just, I mean, most voters, yes, there was interest. I believe the PPIC poll, or no, there's a poll from Associated Press yesterday that said more than 61% of Americans were interested in digesting the debate in some way, shape, or form.
Right, sure.
If they're looking at it on Twitter, it's going to be elevated to another level than what they saw on TV, because the respective sides are going to pick and choose their sound bites. But in terms of recovery time, there's some recovery time.
Absolutely. And, it starts now. It starts in the spin room out there, and it starts with Gavin Newsom, who's one of the principal spokespeople for President Biden, who's a great and future leader for this country. And he's going to get out there. What Biden has to do is get up tomorrow morning and basically hat in hand and say, fire this up. We got to raise money. Let's go out, hit the campaign trail, get out there. Trump is in court all the time, so he can't travel. And I think that what Biden needs to do, I think the biggest thing that we need to do as Democrats is to say, okay, that's behind us.
But admitting it, too, because
sure,
there has to be that level there, too, because a lot of times, it's like, the sky's blue. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Right.
I mean, the Democrats have to take a loss on this one, right?
They have to, but I mean, to Ed's point, right, the timeline looks like this. You have the Republican convention, National Convention, coming up in July. The Democratic National Convention is coming up in August. Then you've got another debate scheduled, for September.
Something, yeah.
The question for both of these candidates is those undecided voters in those swing states, right? Disregard California. Look at the swing states. Nevada, just to our east. You've got others, Virginia and
Arizona, Ohio,
and others, a whole laundry list of them. Were those undecided voters convinced or swayed one way or the other? Were they drawn to Biden tonight in any way? Probably not. Were they drawn to Trump in any way tonight? Well, we'll see the data, but I don't think he scored necessarily a knockout blow with drawing those independent voters to him. But that's the game that both sides have to play. And like you said, Ed, when the Biden campaign wakes up tomorrow, is the Biden campaign has to look at the reality of, okay, are those swing voters still up for grabs?
Right.
And I think, looking at this kind of as a political professional, both of those that swing voter group is absolutely still up for grabs. And while Trump won this debate, it certainly wasn't a knockout blow for those swing voters, and those are the ones in those states that are going to determine this election.
Okay, so